Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about flowcharts and the main symbols and go through a few examples of flowcharts in action. So you would have definitely come across flowcharts before, but maybe not in quite a formal way. So a flowchart is a visual way to show the steps involved in an algorithm. Now the word algorithm you might have heard of, but again might not know what it means formally. An algorithm is a set of instructions which solve a problem. A computer program is an implementation of an algorithm. So we use them all the time in real life and in computing. So visual meaning they've got shapes and we can see them as opposed to just written text. Now there are 4 main flowchart symbols you need to know. The top left one, starting with that one, is just a start or end symbol. You generally just write start or end and it will show you where to begin and where to end in your algorithm. A rectangle is just a process being carried out. You usually write a little description of it. So a typical instruction will get written in a rectangle. A parallelogram is really a modified version of a rectangle. It's just an input or output. If you just used rectangles, that would be fine. But if you really want to be clear that it's either an input, so asking for something, or an output, showing something, you'd use a parallelogram. And maybe the most important one is a diamond, which is a decision to be made. Now this one is where people go wrong. We should ideally only have 2 options. So it should really be a question which has only 2 responses, a binary question. So for example, if you said, what is your name? That's not really suitable, but something like, are you above 180 centimeters? That would be a either yes or no answer, which would be suitable. So you've got 2 pathways coming out of it, one for true or yes, and one for false or no. And all of these are connected with arrows. So let's look at an example flowchart. This is one I made. So have a quick look at it and see if you can figure out what it's doing, because a common question will be trying to interpret a flowchart. So we can see we start here and we end top right. We start by asking, do you have an account? If you don't, you go to a sign up screen and it works its way back round to re-ask the question. If you do have an account, you're going to enter your username and password. This is an input box. You then check, do the account details match? If they don't, you loop back and re-enter the username and password. If they do match, it is a success and the program ends. So as you probably figured out, this is for a website where you're logging in with your username and password. The fancy word is authenticating. If you are authenticating, you are checking somebody is who they say they are. Now, you might do this flowchart a little bit differently. It's not perfect, but hopefully you can see how I've used these decision shapes and they are yes or no. And the arrows, hopefully, are relatively clear the direction they're following. Make sure every arrow has an arrowhead, right? You could just do a straight line. Make sure it's got a direction. And it's fine to loop back. And you'll often do this when you want to repeat something. Just make sure it rejoins at the place you want it to, like here and like down here. Now, this symbol bottom left, I didn't actually show you. This one's a bit different to the success box because I've got an additional 2 lines inside this process rectangle. Now that is sometimes called a subroutine, and you'll sometimes see that when it is its own program. So for example, sign up screen could be a whole nother program. This flowchart would get really, really big and really complicated if I included all of the steps for this sign up screen. So this little rectangle with the lines through it can often be used to symbolize another flowchart somewhere else. So let's say you wanted to actually show that flowchart. You might start with the sign up screen name. So it should match up. So sign up screen in my rectangle matches up to the words in my start symbol. And what you might do, you might sign up and you might first of all enter your username and password, right? If you sign up for a website, you've got to give it a username and password. Then for example, you might, as a web developer, need to check, does a user exist already? Because if somebody exists already with those details, you can't then register a new person. So if a user does exist already, that means they've got to go back and re-enter their details again. If a user doesn't exist already with those details, you should save the details to the database, for example. And that might be it. You might end at that point. But hopefully you can see why this flowchart is relatively simple, but would really overcomplicate my other one. So you will occasionally see symbols like this used to break up complicated flowcharts. But the key thing is, are you able to draw simple flowcharts? Do you know what the symbols mean? Are you able to interpret flowcharts on a page? That is the key things you need to know for this topic.
Welcome to OneStream Live. With OneStream Live, you can create, schedule, and broadcast your live streams on 40+ social media platforms and the web simultaneously. In this video, we will guide you how to live stream a recorded video. Log into your OneStream Live dashboard. Click Create Stream. Click Pre-recorded stream. Multiple upload options will appear to upload a video. Click on My Device. Select and upload your desired video. Once the video is uploaded, hover on the video and click Select Video. Fill out your stream details such as title, description, and tags. Select the social accounts you want to send the stream to. Upload your thumbnail and edit it as desired. Click Apply. Click Go Live. You will be prompted to confirm that you are ready to go live. Click OK. Your playlist has been scheduled successfully. You can copy the embed code of this stream in order to display it on any website. It will go live within 10 to 20 seconds on the selected destinations. And that's it. OneStream Live will take care of the rest.